Okay, so let's welcome our last group is Wendy from 月美 Elementary School and Letitia from 宝来 Elementary School and their club partner, Helen.
Hello everyone, I'm Wendy. I'm from 月美 Elementary School and it's a school from in the Kaohsiung city. And here's my outline. The first one is teaching strategy, and the second one is cloud lessons, and the last one is teacher inquiry project. Okay, and it's my class. And they're 5th graders, and I have 40 students, and actually I'm a homeroom teacher. And we have 8 boys and 6 girls in my class, and 2 indigenous students, and 2 special needs students. And this is Caleb on the internet. Okay, and these are some of my some situations in my class. The first one is my students, they are talkative and energetic, but sometimes they're too shy to speak English, and they don't go to the cram school after school, and actually they're good at speaking Hakka because we're in the rural area. And this is one of our teaching strategy, GLAD, and we use the graphic organizer input charts. And we do a lot of picture sorting and make the students into small groups to make a sentence. For example, chocolates are for Christmas and cookies are for to eat or for fun, and books are for school. And I think this is my favorite part of the lesson, the KWL charts. And we talk about Halloween, and K stands for what do the students know, and W means what do they want to know, and L means what did they learn from the lesson. And these are the words from the students, and I think they did a great job. For example, the first parts, my students already know the pumpkins and ghosts and spiders about Halloween. And the second part, they want to know what do people do for Halloween. And this is the questions from the students. And they learned a sentence, trick or treat. And he drew a very cute mommy here and the witch here. And this is one of our cloud lessons in the very beginning. What do you like to do? And we introduce activities we like to do. For example, I like to eat hot pots. Maybe I eat hot pot once a week, very often, and it's delicious. And Letitia likes to walk her dog, and Caleb likes to do the snowboarding. And another lesson is types of fruits. And we talk about 6 types of fruit and introduce different kinds of fruit and repeat the vocabularies over and over again and classify different fruits. And in the end, the students have to share with the class and with Caleb, and even the lower students, they can join the group and talk. I think that is the best thing. And this is another lesson, and we did the different kinds of gifts. We introduced the words about gift first, and then in small group, they do the sorting and to distinguish whether it is good or bad gift. And this is another lesson. And in the end, we will invite volunteers to complete the graphic organizer. And can you see the red circles here? And these are from the students, they draw it themselves. And the next lesson, we do the topic about when do we receive gifts. And for example, cookies are for Christmas, or mugs are for Christmas. And we also do the picture sorting and share. And because these days there is a Halloween, so we introduce the activities about Halloween, what do people do in Halloween. And we watch a short video about Halloween, and we did the KWL, just I mentioned before. And this is my teacher inquiry project. My concern is that slow learners, they give up very easily. And the students, they cannot focus on the class for all the time. And they don't cooperate with each other at first. And this is my intervention. We will use a lot of pictures or hand gestures or short video to motivate them. And I think I can provide students with opportunities to talk to Caleb or other foreign teachers, or they can share their experience in English with their partners. And I wish I can videotape a lot of my class and myself and keep a teacher journal in my class. Okay, thank you.
Good afternoon, or no, good evening, everyone. I'm Letitia from宝来School, and it's in remote Kaohsiung City. It takes about 1 hour and 40 minutes drive from this Kaohsiung City. Okay, and now I feel nervous and a little bit excited because finally I'm the last queue. It's my turn. So okay, I will finish it briefly because my train is at 6. Yeah, so I'll finish briefly. Okay. Alright, this is my outline. The first I will talk about the application of graphic organizer, and second, the reflection of class lessons, and the third, the results of teacher inquiry. Okay, I want to explain why I use graphic organizer so often, because I think it's good for my students. I ask their homework teachers, and their homework teacher tell me that they like to draw something, especially charts. I think in their Chinese class they draw my math a lot, so homework teacher told me they like to draw and like to write down some important keynotes that they want to remember, so they draw and write a lot. So I think this is a good reason I use graphic organizers in my class, and especially in my class lessons. And I think the advantage for graphic organizers is can help students organize their information and classify things. And also, it's also a good way to organize, to check students' understanding. So later, I'm going to show you some pictures of these advantages. Okay, this is our class lessons. It's kind of the first class lessons. We teach students 5 or 6 math groups, and this is the chart they have to classify the foods. So as you can see, and here down below, after they classify the foods, they have to think about other foods that suit for these categories. So some students write down potatoes are belong to starches, and dumplings because they are pork inside, so it's kind of protein. but actually it's not, because you have to depend on what ingredients inside. And some student write some like cake. It's good for fats and oils and sweets. So we use this grid and metric to in this class lesson, in this unit. And this is the most important part of my class lessons, because I spent 5 class lessons for this one, and it's kind of our school-based curriculum. So we teach students the weather, the seasons, and the activities people like to do in宝来. And Caleb also shared us that what he likes to do in Bellingham and what's the weather like in Bellingham, and also he shows us where is Bellingham. So it's kind of clear lesson actually, because we combine a lot of things like geography, social studies, English, and kind of healthy and PE, because there are a lot of activities you can do within not only in Bellingham but also in宝来, such as go hiking or cherry blossom or something like that. And this I like this part the most, because the process read, when we have these kind of lesson, we ask students to think. We group students into many groups, and they have to think about and discuss a lot. So it's kind of like a think, compare, and share teaching strategies. So we use that a lot. And after that, students have to come stand in front of the class and talk and share what they just discussed and what they learned in this class. And not only share with the whole class, but also in front of the camera and talk to Caleb. So I like this lesson very much. And when we have this kind of school-based curriculum, my principal always enjoy the class with us and watching us, what we're going to do and we're going to talk about, and how the students going to introduce宝来to Caleb. And this is the main part of our class lessons. Alright, and this kind of modify the Venn diagrams. This is school supplies. And we teach students how to say these words, because they use these words a lot. And they like to borrow something from their classmates especially. So right now they know how to say, may I borrow, could I borrow you something, could I use your something? So I think it's very practical and something that that's related to their real life. And this is also the tree chart, kind of graphic organizers. So you can see I use a lot of graphic organizers in my class, and they are 5th and 6th graders, because they are kind of visual learners, like to draw, like to write, and like to draw charts by themselves. So this is I draw the chart myself, and the student has to fill in the answers they want to write. So I think this is the big advantage of graphic organizer, because you can assess students' knowledge integration. So what they learned from my English class and also cloud lessons. And this is kind of graphic organizers too. I will ask students to preview the text in the book. So they usually write down something like where, when, what, how, why, this W, 5WH, and 1H questions, and they will draw a lot of pictures for me. And this is one example, as you can see. So they know how to draw and classify their what they learned or what they gonna learn by themselves. Okay, and here's my second part. The reflection of my cloud lessons. Okay, I think there are both as not cloud lessons from WW and from Taiwanese teacher. We have to spend a lot of time to spend and discuss with our partners what we're going to do and what is suitable for our students. So here I just want to mention the student part and the curriculum part. For my view, I think teachers have to know their students very well, like their learning style, visual, auditory, or kinesthetic learning style. So I think for my cloud project students, they are visual learners, most of them are visual learners. But for my first graders, they kind of they like to dance, like to sing. So TPR is the most important teaching strategies for them. For my third or fourth graders, maybe they are like to do hands-on activities. So being a teacher, you have to know your students very well and choose what is suitable for them is very important. And the second part is students' prior knowledge. Because when I have the climate change, the thing climate change lessons, I think they know it well, but actually they didn't know something like they know the weather in Taiwan, but they don't know the weather in America. For example, the time difference and how it's how does it make etc. So I think teachers have to know the learning style and have knowledge of students very well. And the fourth one, curriculum, because we make curriculum related to real life, such as the school supplies and the school-based curriculum, so they know how to use it, how to apply it, and how to say it. But not only when kids come to our school, but also they can say it to everybody when they want. And also the curriculum must be interesting, and the most important is must be practical. You have to apply it and when you want and when you need it. So I think that is very important. And learning part, I think both I, being the teacher, and the students improve a lot in English learning. And here I just want to focus on authentic materials and collaboration and word view, because for authentic material part, we use the realia like school supplies to show them, and can both bring us the school supplies from the pictures from America. So I think they can compare in comparison, just a little bit like culture exchange, and students like to see the pictures that Caleb showed us, and when they see the pictures, they wow, amazing, and I like their facial expressions when they see something new, and they can learn it. And collaboration, both I and Caleb have to discuss very often to structure the lessons. And for the students, I think we do, they do, you do, just as Stella mentioned in the morning. Okay. I think the most part is they do, because we pay a lot of attention on peer working and discussion and sharing. And this is the important time teacher can walk around to see whether they have questions or not, and guide their thinking, their knowledge, guide their to the right direction. So I think we have to pay the most attention to they do. This part is very important in my class. And also work view, because being a global citizen, you have to not only know your hometown, but also the big world, the earth. So I think these three are very important. Okay, and now comes the third part, the result of my teacher inquiry. And my research question is, what are some of the strategies teachers can use to increase students' participation? Because my students are kind of positive when they are in my English before, and after I learned something from WW this summer, I apply what I learned from WW, and I think they are, that is really improve their learning and boost their interest in my class. So I'll show you some example. This is I use gesture to enhance their speaking and also writing ability. And what makes me very touched is that the students create their own gestures in just 5 minutes after I introduce them gestures. So, okay, time's up. I think it must be, all right, let's give the video part. So, and I also do video tape and peer coaching, not only internal but external. And there are some feedback from other English teachers from the Lehigh district, not only in my school, but also I invite other school teachers to come to my class and give me some feedback. And okay, so these are about participation. So as you can see, the score that you can see previous page. So they are also good in my class. So I think it is successful. In boosting students' interest in learning English. Okay, that's out. Thank you very much.
Good evening, everybody. I have the privilege, responsibility of being the final speaker. So I'll try to both summarize and tie together what Letitia and Wendy talked about, as well as sort of what we've heard all day long. So in general, what we've talked about a lot is this focus on meaning and various different ways we can make language learning meaningful, not so much focused on form, but focused on meaning. So some of the ways that we talked about, that we saw, and I've only pulled really pictures from what Letitia and Wendy have shared, but obviously many of you have shared very similar things all day long. So one aspect is comprehensible input is one general way that we've seen a lot of examples of making language learning a focus on meaning, such as using pictures to connect language to meaning. Graphic organizers and mind maps of various different sorts are also sort of ways to increase comprehensible input, which is a solid principle of second language acquisition that Stephen Krashen introduced to us. Also, interaction is very important for language learning, and we've seen a lot of different examples of that today. In particular, in our cloud lessons, the activities like picture sorts, where students are interacting, talking about various different kinds of pictures and organizing them or categorizing them in some different ways. Various different sorts of collaboration where they have to build or talk about or write or create something together. Sort of like the information or the reasoning gap activities that we talked about at the very beginning of the day, and other sorts of conversations such as turn and talks. And interaction relates to Long's interaction hypothesis, for example, Swain's comprehensible output, and etc. And finally, also content-based instruction, which we've heard a lot about CLIL today. CLIL generally is what it's referred to in Europe. In the United States, we usually call it CBI, but it's essentially the same thing, this focus on content and language together in an integrated way. So some of the things that we did were connecting our daily activities, things that we enjoy doing, to how climate change is affecting those activities and our ability to enjoy them. Also, when talking about Christmas and gift giving, we did a white elephant gift exchange, which was fun and humorous. And also sort of the example of talking about nutrition that we did in the spring and connecting our daily foods with sort of principles of nutrition and how to eat well. So that is all I have. So thank you all so much, and have a great evening.